Welcome back to my channel, guys. It's time for the first anime episode review. Welcome once again, guys. It is not the first episode of this anime, but it is the second episode. It is the first ever video that I make on an episode review. I really want to do these. I was recommended to do these instead of reactions, so I will be doing some this season, more next season as well, and just test it out, see what works better for the channel. But here it is. We're going to be doing Zenshu. That's one of these series that we'll be reviewing episode by episode. We'll be also doing medalists as well. So if you want to know and hear the reviews on each one, each episode, here they are. Before anything, guys, if you haven't done so by now, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Give some love by commenting, liking, and sharing. You guys can find me on social media by checking the description below. And yes, we're finally done with the first impression video season. We might do one more or two here and there, but we're done for sure when it comes to the bigger portion of them. So yeah. Okay, Zenshu. Zenshu, for a little recap for those that forgot what Zenshu is about, it follows the journey of Anatsuko, which is this purple-haired character, not purple-haired, black-haired character with a purple hoodie. And she essentially is a very talented animator in her time, and she gets basically isekai'd into a movie that she very much adores. It's a storyline that she saw as a young person, and basically um, now she's in this world, but she knows it's a tragic story. A lot of people die, a lot of her favorite characters die. So in the first episode, she was able to save the unicorn character who was Yunio, who was meant to die in that part of the story, but she didn't. Now, she is struggling. Before she dies, she was struggling with storyboards for a movie that she was writing, specifically in the romantic series part. But not just that, she basically had writer's block. And it kind of shows a little bit more here in this episode that that's essentially what's happening is that when she's in that under pressure of saving a character or saving the world, she is kind of pushed and encouraged, I guess, by the world to write or create a monster or something that will save the day, right? We saw that at the end of the first episode. We see this basically at the end of this episode as well. So the episode starts with her waking up. It's been a few days of her being knocked out from the magic that she used in the first episode. And at her side is Luke. Now, Luke is the leader of this group of heroes who essentially have been helping support the city and all that. Um, Luke thought that she was crazy in episode one. He's trying to figure her out in this episode, and Natsuko is very grateful. And the reoccurring joke in the episode is that Natsuko is in love with the anime food that tastes as good as it looks in pictures. Which, if you are an anime watcher, you probably have dreamed of some of this food that you see in different movies. It doesn't have to be just Food Wars, that's specific food anime, but other animes themselves have really good visuals sometimes. It almost seems like people really love food, those that animate it, right? So, anyways, Natsuko's enjoying herself. There is a calling for them to go meet with the leaders of the city. Luke is in the fence. Yunio, the unicorn, he is completely against Natsuko being any form or way part of their group. He didn't really experience Natsuko's magic, so he still is kind of like, nah, I don't, I don't trust her. She's weird. She's a gremlin, so on and so forth. Memlin, who is an elf woman, she is just in the background for most of this episode. She is kind of mentioned a few times, and we'll get to it, but doesn't really have an opinion with her yet. and QJ, who is kind of the robot that detects the monsters and does other stuff as well. He's just kind of there, like he gives facts, and that's about it. So it really is between Luke and Yunio, who are kind of debating what about Natsuko. So the leaders essentially are saying that they want Natsuko to be part of their group, part of the essentially emergency heroes group that helps the city survive. And they're against it. They're like, no. Luke throws this very sexism comment of, she's a woman, she's weak, she's frail. Like, I don't, we don't need that in the group. And she's Natsuko's like, not that I want to be in the group, but you got an elf woman right there. Like, she's a woman. And there's a little bit of an awkwardness there. Luke eventually does apologize to her, but you can tell that Memlin is it hurts her, right? That comment does. Um, but Natsuko says, no, I don't want to be part of that. I'm trying to figure out my own thing first. And it's left by that. So they go their own way. But Natsuko says there's going to be, in 3 days, when the Harvest Festival happens, there's going to be an invasion of flying monsters. And that's where a lot of people die. And more people die afterwards because of the famine. And she's like, I don't want to be here for that. So she starts walking away, and she doesn't know how to get back. She doesn't know how to use her magic. She doesn't know how to get back, and she is a mess. Eventually, she decides to go back into town, um, and she uses her ability of the fact that she is a hero. She starts getting food in the tavern for free. Uh, Realizes that the characters or the people that are in the anime are people that she's kind of like work with, but like not really. Like the bartender seems awful alike like the director that she worked with. So I want to come back to that after I'm done with the episode. But anyways, that's that. Then she finally accepts to be part of the team. They get ready, and she's like, "This is gonna happen, so we had to prepare." So everyone prepares. Luke is essentially, and I'll kind of explain their positions. Luke, he is the front man. He is the hands-on attacker, hand-to-hand combat. There's very few like Luke there. Yunio, he's kind of like the defense. He has all these mages, and they do magic to defend as much as possible. Memlin, the elf girl, she stays up in the tower with all these archers, and they pretty much are arrow um, uh, defense and also offense from the back. And then QJ is kind of the informative of all the information, giving them, controlling and letting them know what's happening. So, Natsuko basically doesn't know how to use her magic, so she just hopes that at the moment it will work. And yeah, the invasion happens. There's these huge insects flying. First time they encounter these, they're fighting them off, and Natsuko finally gets the pen to work, the magic works, and it's like new faith should be done or something like that. And she gets stuck again. I feel like this whole journey is her realizing how to create characters, and essentially she eventually thinks of one and creates this character that has tentacles that attacks all the different insects in the air and then attacks the mothership. And it's a pretty awesome of a scene, to be honest. One of the best scenes in the episode. And yeah, she knocks out again. And the episode ends with her waking up to Luke being at her bedside again. It's been 3 days, and she is still trying to explain to him what the real world is to her, and she doesn't know why she's there, but she's gonna join the group and try to save as much people as possible. And that's pretty much it in the nutshell of this episode. What are my thoughts? Well, there's a few things. Like, I still am not 100% convinced that she got easy kai'd. I feel like she's maybe in a coma, and this is why she is able to have recreation of people that lived with her in her previous world recreated into um the society that she's in now. So I think that maybe she is fighting for her life. Maybe she's in a coma, or maybe she's in a whatever it is, and she is just happens to um, not realize it yet, or I don't know. They're toying with us with that idea with the whole tavern lady. The other thing is we don't get a lot of push of the other characters other than Yunio and Luke, and that's a little bit weird to be honest. Like it feels like no one has a say but them two. Um, but I guess we'll see the other characters introduced. I really want to know more about QJ, the robot. How he's very like pretty much advanced technology, but no one seems to care that he is the only advanced technology that exists amongst them. It's like, do you not notice that it's a floating robot and no one else has those? Like, what is he? Where does he come from? Who is he? Or is it a he? Is it a she? I don't know. But in a nutshell, I'm really enjoying the show. I'm glad that I'm doing these reviews. Let me know if you guys like these. If you want more, I'll do more for sure. So I am testing it out. So we'll see how it is. Thank you guys so much for watching this. If you haven't done so by now, make sure you check out my channel by checking the videos in the list around here somewhere. Check those out. Thank you and for watching. And like always, don't be strangers. See you guys.